All right, guys, welcome back to Season 3 of our Madden 23 Lions franchise. And the first thing we're going to go through is the roster, because there's been a number of roster changes. If you watched the offseason video, you probably saw it. If you didn't, we're going to go through and break down the roster and the depth chart real quick. So the biggest change on offense is probably a little bit of a carryover from last season. So Hebert is the starting halfback, and then Brian Jackson, who we drafted as a wide receiver, is a halfback. So Brian Jackson, 6 feet tall. He's got 96 speed, 94 excel, 92 agility. He's got a pretty high break tackle. Trucking is actually surprisingly high for being a wide receiver. Stiff arm is kind of low. His juke is okay. His spin's okay. His change of direction is very good. And he's got good route running and good catching, obviously. Good spec catch. He's got good kick return, so he's going to be the punt and kick returner as well. And yeah, he's already a 78 overall at halfback. And you can see that he's a 78 receiving back, 75 elusive back. And yeah, he's going to fill that new Cordarrelle role that's kind of opened up because Cordarrelle is now on the Bills. And Calvin Austin, we were thinking about potentially putting him there as well. But Calvin Austin is better at wide receiver for us right now. We need the depth at wide receiver because Cooper Kupp is our number 1. Jameson's our number 2. Number 3 is Antwuan Andrews, who is star dev, and he is a 73 overall right now. Need to make sure to continue to get him a lot of PT so that he can get his overall up a little bit more. And then after that, it's Calvin Austin, and then Derek Young and Moses Brackett. And that's rounding out the entire wide receiver core. Bernie Street is on the practice squad. He is a backup. 6'3" wide receiver, kind of slow, but kind of more of a possession receiver. And then looking at the O-line, Corey Linsley is still our center. Batonio is our left guard. We traded Tyron Smith to move up in the draft. So Petit Frere is our new left tackle out of Ohio State. And he's been on the team since season 1, but he has been a backup up to this point. But he's a 74 overall, and he's only like 23, 24 years old. We picked up Glowinski in free agency. And we do have a backup right guard. I think he's injured, though. So right now it says Quentin Posey is the backup right guard. Charles Leno is our right tackle still. And then Quentin Posey is our starting tight end with Juwan Johnson and Colby Parkinson as our backups. Mercedes Lewis has retired. So that is all 3 of our tight ends right there. Looking at the defense, they've made a couple adjustments. So we traded away Max Crosby to move up in the draft as well. And we drafted Sean Hazelwood. So Sean Hazelwood is a 6'5" left outside linebacker who is going to play a little bit of edge rushing for us, playing a little bit of pass coverage as well. He's got 86 speed and 90 excel, and we hope that he's going to develop into, just a superstar outside linebacker as a 3-4 kind of like versatile pass rusher. He has the physical traits kind of. He's got really good speed and excel. Again, obviously, really good agility, good jumping. And his block shed is kind of low. He's more of a finesse kind of speed pass rusher, but his pursuit is very high. His strength is pretty good. His zone is not that bad, given what he kind of specializes in. So I'm really excited about him and kind of like what his development is going to be. I think right now it's going to be star, but hopefully it's superstar. Christian Harris is our middle linebacker number 1 because we traded away Kenneth Murray Jr. in the Max Crosby trade. That kind of fits with us a little bit as well because Kenneth Murray Jr. was kind of getting pushed off the field for other players like Baron Browning when we're in big nickel and 3-4. Damon Clark is our backup middle linebacker now, and we got a couple veterans that we signed off of free agency like Anthony Barr. So we also have some other backup outside linebackers, and we have some other middle linebackers that are deeper on the rotation, like Alex Small was moved from outside linebacker. He was in our first draft. He's been moved to middle linebacker. He's our middle linebacker, like number 4. Actually, he's going to be behind Anthony Barr. But looking at safety, so we have Isaiah Simmons still, obviously. And then Nathan Walls is a really interesting player. We drafted him as an outside linebacker that's sort of specialized in pass coverage. But if you look at his stats, he actually he's really a versatile player. At 6 feet tall, he actually projects really well as a safety as well. Before we were starting Ryan Neal at free safety, and sometimes we'd have Pat Hopkins in, but right now Nathan Walls with his hidden dev, we're going to go ahead and put him at free safety kind of think of him as another Isaiah Simmons. So we have two safeties that could also be linebackers right now, which is a really interesting idea. Nathan Walls, I think, will primarily be getting used in nickel packages as well as the nickel option. He's very good in run support. He has high block shed for a safety. He's got good pursuit and good tackling as well. His hit power is okay. It's not where I'd want it to be, but I'll be honest, the last 2 or 3 drafts, the safety talent pool has been terrible. And the corner pool has been pretty solid, but none of the corners convert to safeties very cleanly. Not a lot of them have high tackling, pursuit, block shed, or hit power. So Nathan Walls might be our best option at safety for a while. I could always move Nathan Walls back to linebacker as well at any point. Right now, this is just kind of where he fits best on the roster. And yeah, I just think it's an interesting pick because I have never converted a linebacker to safety before. Usually that fit is not there at all. But Nathan Walls could, he fits in right at free safety. It's going to be a very interesting season seeing kind of how he plays. Pat Hopkins is the backup. And again, Ryan Neal is the backup at strong safety right now. Ryan Neal will get some playing time in like dime and big nickel packages. Ronnie Harrison is also on the roster now. He probably is projecting more as a sub linebacker in most cases, not going to be playing a lot of safety because he is actually a really slow safety with only 86 speed, but he's very physical. But he's not much of a run support safety, surprisingly. He has very high hit power, though. Looking at the D-line, Trey Hendrickson is starting at right end right now, and DeMarcus Lawrence is starting at left end. And then Dontrell Parker, our first-round draft pick at D-tackle, he's a rookie out of Florida. He is kind of more of the Nate Vasher style of D-tackle. He's more of a pass rusher than he is a run stopper, which is okay. He's pretty fast. He's got high hit power. He's got good strength. He's got good tackling. So he is just kind of like a physical beast at D-tackle, but he needs to work on his skills. So like his finesse, his power moves, and his block shed all need to go up. But in terms of just raw athleticism, it's definitely there. Nate Vasher is going to continue to be a backup D-tackle, but he'll be kind of like put in sub packages for pass rushing or like third down packages. Patrick Surtain, obviously our number 1 at corner. Tariq Woolen, number 2. Eric Stokes is at number 3. Zion McCollum and Jacoby Durant are still our backup corners. That are going to play a little bit, but really are not going to see a lot of playing time. And that is mostly it. Just going into the special teams a little bit more. Again, Brian Jackson is going to be in on kick and punt returns with Calvin Austin as the backup and Moses Brackett as well. I want to make sure that Moses Brackett gets a little bit of PT. Nothing really interesting that has changed about kickoff or special teams in terms of like the kicker and punter. Looking at nickel and dime defense is kind of what we talked about a little bit. Eric Stokes is not actually going to be the slot corner. That's just what it says right now. But this is kind of how we want to have it set up at rush ends and rush D-tackle. So Trey Hendrickson at D-tackle with Nate Vasher and Dontrell Parker afterwards. And then Sean Hazelwood, we want to give him an opportunity to play a little bit of the edge as well. And then DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be out there, of course. Again, Ronnie Harrison is kind of one of our sub linebackers along with Baron Browning and Christian Harris. Ronnie Harrison just fits well there just because, again, he's a very slow safety. He's not really going to be in a regular defense where he's playing safety. Third down running back right now is Brian Jackson. Power halfback is Lionel Hubbard. Ramondre is kind of the backup in both situations. Ramondre is kind of that perfect fit where he can be a receiving back and he can be a power back and he can actually be a great pass blocker and run blocker as well. So he kind of does a little bit of everything. He is not going to be getting a whole lot of snaps actually running the football. But yeah, again, like he kind of just is a very versatile running back that could play fullback, he could play running back, he could be a receiver out of the backfield. But also look forward to us using Brian Jackson in a lot of packages where we're going to split him out wide as an actual wide receiver as well. And looking at the practice squad, we had signed a number of players to the practice squad, but they all got poached like immediately. We do still have Bernie Street on the practice squad. Stephon Murphy, if you guys were curious, the 5'5" running back out of Drake, he is on the practice squad right now. But going and looking at the main page right here, there were a number of players that were signed immediately off the practice squad. So that includes Jaden Peavy, the D tackle that's been on the roster. Our safety that we converted from corner, Jamario Gates, was immediately signed. He's only like a 62 overall, but was immediately signed by the Bills and taken off our practice squad. Alex Small was signed from the practice squad, so he's not on the roster. Our third-string quarterback, Jatavius Watts, was moved on to the Browns roster. Amari Barno was taken by the Jaguars. John Baldwin was taken from the Buccaneers. Darrell Graham, who we drafted, was taken by the Chiefs. John Peck and Dorian Thorpe were taken. And yeah, again, those are some players that we drafted that we could not keep on the 53-man roster, and we wanted to have them on the practice squad. And they were not very high overall players, but yeah, they were poached immediately from the practice squad, which, you know, is kind of frustrating, but, you know, that's just how it works. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the game against the Colts. Jalen Hurts is the QB. Devin Singletary is the halfback with Isaiah Spiller as the backup. We got Chris Olave, Darnell Mooney, and Cedric Wilson as the three main wide receivers. Shane Smith at tight end, the rookie. Their O-line is pretty solid. Jadeveon Clowney at left end, Marcus Davenport at right end, Jonathan Allen at D tackle. So they have a very good set of D linemen. Felix Blue, the second-year player at left outside linebacker, is a very good left outside linebacker. C.J. Mosley. They got Leonard Floyd. They got Asante Samuel, Rashad Fenton, Kareem Hamilton, Jesse Bates at free safety, and Terrell Edmonds at strong safety. All right, right now we got Isaiah Simmons as the nickel. And one important thing to mention, too, about the gameplay is that we've made the sliders a little bit more challenging, so the games are going to be a little bit closer. Got Ronnie Harrison out again as the sub linebacker right now, playing underneath. It's a halfback screen. Trey Hendrickson is kind of there. Oh, but Devin Singletary sending a blitz, and man, Jalen Hurts is scrambling out, and it's underthrown. Tariq completely misplayed the ball, and it's going to be a free touchdown for Chris Olave. And you just cannot make a play like that. That reminds me of a play Trey Flowers made one time for the Seahawks where he just jumped way too early. In that case, Tariq completely was out of position on the play. Yeah, that was a bad touchdown. Here we're going to see the first action out of Brian Jackson on the kick return. I'm going to let him bring this one out, see what he can do with it. Got good blocks, but unfortunately, Calvin Austin cannot hold it for long enough. And we're going to start at the 19-yard line. Jake Zimmer, in his second year, leading the offense out onto the field. And not much in the offensive unit has changed aside from the O-line, so don't expect a whole lot of difference. Again, Brian Jackson is going to be mostly a sub player. And our wide receiver spots should be basically the same as they were. First play of the game, Lionel Hebert is in. Again, Lionel Hebert is our starting halfback right now. And running it up the middle, two defenders immediately meet him there, and we pick up 0 yards. On 2nd and 10, running a jet sweep, Brian Jackson is in, and he's carrying the football. And a great block sent by Jameson Williams, picking up the first down. Now Brian Jackson is in sort of more of a gun package that works with him, and a good run. So 2 straight possessions where Jackson has picked up 11 yards. First receiving, even though it was a jet sweep, it was a jet touch pass. Second play was a good run from Brian Jackson out of the backfield. 1st and 10, we got Quentin Posey over the top. We got Jackson underneath, a good catch by him. And again, when we have a whole lot of new weapons on the team, we don't want to move too far away from the established players as well. Like, you know, Quentin Posey is incredibly important. And of course, Cooper Kupp is our #1 target on offense. We got Brian Jackson in the backfield again. What we're going to do here is we're going to split him out wide. Now we're in empty. We're going to send him on a slant, see if we can get him open potentially. If not, we could always run it. And we kind of stayed in the pocket a little bit too long. Again, they have a great D-line, and they got a sack. That time by Marcus Davenport. This time, Jameson's completely unchecked off the line of scrimmage. And we're just going to throw it to him, and it's going to be a free, almost first down. Yeah, bad play call there from the Colts. And it's going to be 3rd and 5 now. Much more manageable 3rd down situation. We're going to run it with Brian Jackson, see if he can pick up this first. And they immediately crowd the line of scrimmage, and we lose yards. We're going to go ahead and just try to kick this field goal. This might be off, and it is. Wow, it's been a while since I've missed a field goal. All right, now we're in big nickel, but we have Nathan Walls kind of set as our nickel option right now. We got Baron Browning underneath. A fumble force, but they do recover. 1st and 10 from the 46. Still in big nickel here. We got Nate Basher on the D-line. And a nice tackle from DeMarcus Lawrence in the backfield for a loss of 3. Again, still trying to figure out what is the best way to use our new weapons on defense and offense. Again, having Walls as our nickel kind of makes us more of a regular 3-4 defense, but he's such a great coverage player. And attacking the cover two, Chris Olave with a nice catch past Tariq Woolen in between Isaiah Simmons. A good throw there from Jalen Hurts, and they are back in the red zone at our 15-yard line. This package still could be really good defending the run, but we have yet to see them really run the football too much. On the jet sweep, and we get blocked, and Olave is going to take this into the end zone for the touchdown. Hebert back in the game. Yeah, Juwan Johnson out here along with Quentin Posey. Got a short out. Gonna throw it underneath the Posey, and he cannot hold on to it. Now they got more linebackers on the field. Probably looking at the run a little bit more. A little play action here out of pistol. Got two tight ends on the right side. See if we can fake them out at all. Throw it underneath to Juwan Johnson, and Juwan Johnson picks up a couple yards, getting up only to the 23. On 3rd and 7, we got Cooper Kupp in the flat, wide open for the first down. 1st and 10 with Quentin Posey as our lead blocker. We're going to run it with Jackson. Got some good runs. We're taking it up the middle, trying to get to the edge, and Terrell Edmonds is able to make the tackle after a nice gain. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. On 1st and 10. In the gun, we got Jackson on a zig route, and he's able to get open, picking up the first down before getting hit. On 1st and 10, we got Andrews streaking open over the middle, and he fumbles the ball, though, down at the 22-yard line. That is brutal. Trying to make it a one-possession game. All right, 1st and 10 now. For the defense back on the field after that turnover. We got Damon Clark playing underneath this. Oh, a nice hit by Sean Hazelwood. On the second, if we're playing a little cover one. Nathan Walls in the nickel. Doing a good job, actually. Playing on the flats. Sean Hazelwood trying to make the hit, but it's going to be a first down pickup. And now, again, they're trying to run clock, it feels like. We're watching that post route. Nathan Walls does a great job in coverage. Jalen Hurts trying to scramble, throws it away. It's going to be 2nd and 10. All right, on 2nd and 10, we're bringing a blitz off of the opposite side of the running back. Seeing if this can affect them a little bit. We're watching over the middle. Throw it to Singletary underneath. It's going to be 3rd and short. Jalen Hurts is having himself a good game. We got to get him off rhythm a little bit. The pass rush has not been as good as it was last season. Obviously, we're missing some of those players. Throwing it underneath again, and another short completion. All right, we're going to move into some man packages here. Seems like zone is getting picked apart right now by Jalen Hurts. So we got Baron Browning in cover one. Watching that short out. Jalen Hurts running, and he just tosses it away. A great job by Christian Harris on that play, containing Hurts. Now, 2nd and 10, we're going to be in cover 3. Devin Singletary has a hole up the middle if he does decide to run. We're watching the slants. There's nothing there. Eventually throwing it short. Eric Stokes can't make a play on the ball. Isaiah Simmons misses the tackle. Tariq misses the tackle. Finally, Smith is down at the 8-yard line. A bad play there by Eric Stokes, who easily could have picked that ball off and been going the other way. Instead, it's going to be 1st and goal. Watching the short out, and Smith takes it in for the touchdown, and we're going to have to make a complete 180 and turn this game around quickly as we've fallen down 21-0 in the second quarter. Play action. Oh, and it gets intercepted, throwing out of the sack, and it almost is a pick six. Juszczyk is there for the tackle, and this is bad. This is bad. They got pressure immediately. Now 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Playing regular 3-4. Baron Browning and Christian Harris over the top. They're going to do a little jet sweep again here. It's a fake. This time they run it to Singletary. Christian Harris with a nice hit. Again, doing a great job stopping their running game, but really they've been passing at will on us. And moving to cover 2. It's a run again. We do stop them again. Great hit by DeMarcus Lawrence. Now in cover 2. We get a little QB contain. We know this is a pass. Trying to spread us out a little bit. They're in an empty. We got a short double move to the tight end. We're trying to cover everything as much as we can, but he's got all the time in the world. Finally throws it away. And we hold them to a field goal, luckily, If it was 28-0, we might not have had a chance to come back, but we are going to have to make a complete turnaround. Cannot stress that enough. And it's a flag on 4th and 7.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker.
Oh my God. Oh no. And Zion McCollum gets the roughing the kicker, and so now it'll be a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Running up the middle is Singletary, or that's actually Spiller, and he gets in for the touchdown. And what was going to be 24-0 is now 28-0. All right, 28-0. Little halfback screen. Hebert on the reception finally gets kneed in the face down at the 28. And we're going to have to score definitely before the end of the half to make this a game potentially. Got Cooper. Got Quentin Posey in the seam. Holds on to it. A nice grab down at the 40-yard line. We're going to send Cooper in motion on a fake jet sweep. Play action. And he's actually... Oh, he almost was open, and that almost got intercepted. On 2nd and 10, it looks like it might be zone defense, and it is. Jameson's open over the middle. Able to hold on to it. Luckily, no fumble this time. Also, I know last time it was a fumble by Andrews, but regardless, anytime I see 3 defenders on a receiver right now, I'm kind of worried about a fumble. Cooper Kupp in the same again. The C has been open consistently against this defense, and a touchdown. A nice throw to Cooper Kupp by Jake Zimmer, and kind of washing away that last interception. And we've gotten on the board now. All right, 1st and 10 from the 25. Let's get one more stop before half. It's necessary. A corner route by the tight end, and a nice catch. It's going to be 2nd and 5 now. Now 2nd and 5. We got Singletary in the backfield. In cover 3 here. Watching the double move by the tight end. It's not there. Singletary underneath. A big hit by Baron Browning. It's going to be 3rd and 6. On 3rd and 6, we have our big nickel defense out there. Watching everything short. Watching Jalen Hurts throwing underneath. He gets picked off by Christian Harris at the 29-yard line. That was a low ball, but Christian Harris did a great job of getting underneath it. A bad throw by Hurts. Kind of couldn't set his feet. Was about to get sacked by Nate Vasher, and it goes low. He was targeting Singletary, and Christian Harris did a great job of getting his hands under the ball. Oh my God, it's under review. Please tell me it's a pick still. It should be. It's not a trap catch, though. He definitely got his hands under the ball. Look at it. He got his hands on it. You can't overturn this, can you? Whew. Okay, so they didn't overturn it. I was actually worried. I wasn't sure, but okay. So on the 32, 1st and 10, Lionel Hebert with the carry. Gets tackled immediately for a loss of 3. And some of these run plays not working is a little unusual for us, but we have to adjust to our new set of O-linemen on the team. Good carry by Jake Zimmer here. He's going to keep it and slide down, make it 3rd and 4. On 3rd and 4. Looks like they're bringing double A-gap pressure. It looks like it's zone defense right now. What we're going to do is we're going to bring Brian Jackson out of the backfield and do an empty formation here. Jackson's going to be open over the middle. No one's there on him. Catches it. Nice. Bringing him down at the 5-yard line. We're going to call a timeout. We have 2 seconds left. Now, should I have realized that time was coming off the clock? Yes. Get Cooper Kupp open over the middle. It's going to be incomplete, and we get no points before half. Oh, that's a killer. All right, we made a mistake before half. We were so wrapped up in getting the perfect play that we did not notice how much time was left. But Jackson has been getting used in a lot of packages and has been really successful in a lot of the plays we've used with him for. But yeah, no, we need to focus on complete and total coaching. We cannot, forget how much time is left and how much we need to, come back from being down 28-0 at one point. On the fake jet sweep, keeper by Lionel Hebert, he gets some yards up to the 27. 2nd and 6 now for Lionel Hebert out of the single back, kind of like jumbo formation, picking up a couple more yards. Posey underneath, open, picks up the 1st. Oh, but he may have lost that 1st down after spinning, and he does. All right, we're going to try to QB sneak it from 4th and 1. Got to pick up this 1st down by 28-7, and we do pick up the 1st. All right, 1st and 10 from the 35. We got Antoine Andrews underneath, and he fumbles again for us. That's his second fumble of the game, and he's injured. I'm not sure what is going on with him, but that is a crucial turnover when we're trying to get back into this game. From the 44-yard line, we're in big nickel right now. They're in a single back formation. Could be a jet sweep. It's not. It's just a regular pass play. Watching the double move. It gets intercepted by Surtain. A great job locating the ball, getting his hands on it, and getting the pick on that target to Darnell Mooney. On 1st and 10. Little play action. Got Cooper Kupp wide open on the crosser. Picking up that first down and a whole lot more. Trying to make another move. Eventually getting down to the 24-yard line. Looks like Antoine Andrews has an an MCL sprain, so we're not going to force him to come back in the game. It's not necessary, especially in the first week of the season. Good blocks holding up, finding a way to try to go back in the middle, only picking up a yard. And so far, the running game has been significantly more difficult. And again, I don't think that's Hebert. I think that's just our new O-line that we have. Jake Zimmer on the scramble, just has to toss it away. On 3rd and 9, I'm guessing the seam's going to be open again here. And it is, as long as Cooper can hold on to it, but it gets tipped away by Jesse Bates. And in this position, we're going to go ahead and take the field goal. Obviously not what we wanted. Down 18 now. 1st and 10 from the 25. They're in single back. They're running it with Singletary on the outside. Christian Harris misses the tackle. Eventually, Singletary going down at the 31 after breaking numerous tackles. Now, 2nd and 4 in single back again here. And it's a run up the middle with Singletary again. He breaks a couple tackles, eventually coming down at the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 41. They're in an empty shotgun now. We're going to actually put Hazelwood into coverage. On the slant, on the short out, completion to Smith, who's been doing a really good job of being open for Jalen Walls in the backfield. We're playing cover 1 right now. Watching the short pass. Again, Surtain's not bailing us this time. Down at the 43. 2nd and 5 from the 43. They're in single back again with Singletary. And they're going to run it on the handoff. Singletary picks up the first again. And we can just not get off the field right now. We're continuing to shoot ourselves in the foot on offense, and it's making it difficult for our defense to consistently get stops. Another run by Singletary. Getting over there and getting the tackle is Damon Clark on 2nd and 8. Got a short out by Smith, a double move actually. Underneath, Simmons getting there to Singletary, enforcing the fumble. Surtain on the recovery, and we got a convoy, and no one is going to be there. Surtain is going to take it all the way. And another huge play by Isaiah Simmons. Jalen Hurts almost making it back there. All right, we're in regular nickel right now. Doing a short toss out here. Nathan Wall's not getting open. Ryan Neal trying to come down and make the tackle. Eventually, Simmons makes it. A nice run by Isaiah Spiller out of the toss play. Now in gun. Dropping down in coverage. Oh, Wall's trying to get the interception. Instead, Mooney, I believe, with the grab. Or sorry, that was Cedric Wilson with the grab. 2nd and 1 now. Isaiah Simmons on the run, stop, and still picking up the first is Singletary. On 1st and 10 in the gun again with Singletary in the backfield. With 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end. We got Walls in man coverage. And an interception. Oh, but Tariq Woolen drops it. Tariq Woolen was in coverage on Chris Olave and almost had another huge play by this defense. 2nd and 10 now from the 47. Another run play here by Singletary and a great hit and stop by Baron Browning. Now on 3rd and 9 in the gun again. Jalen Hurts in the back. We got Olave in the slot. Bringing their tight end in on this play. Most likely a pass situation. We got Walls out playing nickel. Dropping back into coverage. Getting some pressure. Getting the completion to Olave. And finally Olave taken down, but he does pick up the first down. And unfortunate, we got pressure on Hurts, but he was still able to complete the pass. Now 1st and 10. Was in single back. Now back into the gun. Trying to spread us out a little bit. Walls back in coverage. Watching the short corner route. Throwing it underneath. Completed to Spiller. Now on 2nd and 7. In the single back again. Trips. We'll toss out again. This play worked really well last time. We do finally tackle him down at 36. This is a bad situation here. 3rd and 6. Stuck in cover 2. Double slants. Trying to force a fumble. They're down at the 24. We're sending a blitz in man coverage. Got to try to get a stop here. Running it with Singletary again. Singletary fighting for yards and fumbles possibly. Baron Browning falls on it. Down at the 21-yard line. I'm not sure if this is going to stand or not. All right, so it's being reviewed, and it looks like it's going to be from ground contact that forces him to fumble. So this is not going to stand. And so they get it back. It's going to be 2nd and 7 now, and we are doing a man blitz again. We're watching the slant over out left. We're on it. We're on it. Jalen Hurts is running left. Just throws it away. Now 3rd and 7. Drop it back into coverage. I'm going to try to contain Jalen Hurts as much as possible. Watching the short out. Watching underneath. We're on it. We're all over it. Nothing is open. And he just has to throw it away. And that's a huge stop. Now, when they kick this, we're going to be down by 2 possessions still because we took a field goal earlier. So we're going to have to go down, score a touchdown, get another stop, and then score another TD to get back into this game. Right now, we're in the read option. I could probably keep this. We're going to go ahead and run it one time. They fall for it. Following Juszczyk's block. Jake Zimmer is going down, picks up the first, luckily doesn't fumble. What I like here is we're going to send Jackson out wide. And they're taking a long time to get out there. See if we can snap it quickly. Got Jackson open. It's underthrown. Jackson has it tipped away, and he was going to be wide open. He was going to be wide open on that play, but we faced pressure before we could get rid of it. Jackson on the run out left here, following our blockers, picking up a couple yards. On 3rd and 8, we got Ramondre in. We got Posey underneath. Holds on to it. Does a great job of getting the first down. We're going to run quickly here. We got Posey underneath again. Almost picking up that first. Got to continue to move the ball quickly. We're sending Cooper Kupp on a go, and he's got him beat one-on-one. And no safety is there, and we score another touchdown with Cooper Kupp. A great route, beating the press coverage. All right, 1st and 10 from the 25. We're in cover 3. Watching the double move. Everything underneath. They throw it to the flat to get the completion. Good hit there by Nathan Walls. We got Sean Hazelwood in a QB spy. This could be an interesting situation here on 2nd and 2. As long as they pass it, they're going to run, and we get the tackle with Christian Harris in the backfield. All right, this is the play of the game here on 3rd and 4. Cover 2, they're running it up the middle with Singletary. Singletary gets dropped just short of the first. Okay, we're going to be here on the punt return. And we have a chance to potentially tie. Bradley Pinion on the punt. Jackson on the return. We got good blocks. Trying to take it outright, and that did not really work out at all. All right, we're going to try to run to the left here with Lionel Hebert, who has not seen as much action as he usually does. Running it out to the left. Hebert only up to the 23. All right, here's an interesting play call. Motioning out Jackson. And going to get an empty formation here. Could have Posey wide open. We got underneath Calvin Austin. Getting up to the 35 almost. We got 2 more timeouts. We don't need to use them right now. We got Jamison over the middle potentially. Underneath again, we have Calvin Austin. We're going to call our first timeout here. All right, on 2nd and 1, we got 2 running backs in the backfield. We got Cooper, Calvin Austin, and Jamison out there. So no Quentin Posey. Brian Jackson on the run. A great job. Can he get out of bounds? No, he gets tripped up just before, but Cooper comes down with an injury holding his stomach. Hopefully it's not an abdominal tear again. And Cooper has gone back to the medical tent. So 1st and 10, we got Calvin Austin in there with Derek Young. We got Posey underneath, able to hold on to, and that is not what we like to see. We have no timeouts remaining, so we cannot catch it inbounds if it's going to be for short yardage. 30 seconds remaining. We got Posey underneath. I don't like the play. Oh, it gets intercepted. It's a bad ball. Perfect accuracy in X Factor from Jake Zimmer, but he throws an interception long past Brian Jackson into CJ Mosley's hands, and I just don't get it. I thought that was pretty wide open. And instead, that's going to be the game, and we're going to lose by a touchdown. All I have to do is kneel it. We have no timeouts remaining, and we had 4 turnovers in this game, and that last one is just confounding. I don't really know how we turned the ball over there in X Factor. All right, Jake Zimmer, 2 TDs, 2 picks, had a pretty, solid game aside from that one. Yeah, that second interception was just So unfortunate. A good passing game from him, though, in terms of completion percentage and yards thrown for. Jalen Hurts also doing about the same. Running the football, Lionel Hubbard really struggled. 6 carries for 6 yards. Unusual for him. Brian Jackson, in the instances when he carried the football, did a great job. Again, Brian Jackson is not our starting halfback. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. He is kind of just like a positionless player. Lionel Hubbard is our halfback, so we got to get him going. And if we can't get him going, then we may have to look elsewhere at like Ramondre potentially. Receiving wise, Quentin Posey 5 catches for 50 yards. Cooper having himself a great start to the season before getting injured. 5 catches for 125 yards and 2 TDs. Chris Olave also having a really good game. Brian Jackson with 4 catches for 50 yards, so having almost 100 yards in total between receiving and rushing. Looking at Calvin Austin, 2 catches for 20. Antoine Andrews, 2 catches for 20, but he also had a fumble. Did he have 2 fumbles? I don't know. He had at least 1 fumble, I know. Juwan Johnson with 1 catch. Hebert with 1 catch. Defensively, Isaiah Simmons and Baron Browning were for most tackles. We had no sacks in this game, which is unusual. Christian Harris and Patrick Surtain, each with a pick. And we had 2 forced fumbles, one by Isaiah Simmons and one by Surtain. And we had the 1 defensive touchdown by Surtain in this game. So starting off the season really strong after coming off of a Defensive Player of the Year performance previously. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that game against the Colts. We're going to try to clean up those turnovers as much as possible. In our next game, we're going to be going up against the Dallas Cowboys, and we played them in the first season. They're a really good team. They have Justin Fields, who's on fire in our franchise, and Justin Jefferson. So I look forward to that one in our following game. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.